Alright, I'm gonna do a review for JRG's Barik. And, full disclosure here, I haven't played that much Barik this patch, and he's quite different than he used to be. So I'm honestly not super duper comfortable on him. In terms... Oh my god, that game is loud. Let me turn that down. It's just my volume that's loud, not, like, the recording, I don't think. But anyway. Again, so... I haven't played that much Barik this patch. The style that is good for him right now is very different than what I am used to. But I can give some, like, overall tank tips, just like, I've played a lot of tank, I know how it works. I know how tanks have to play a little bit in this patch, as like a general concept, because they have obviously changed quite a bit. So to start, let's look at the team comps and understand what is going on here. So both...
5, 4, 3,
both,
2,
Barik
1.
and Rom are really good with Genos because Rom, like, essentially doesn't need healing, and Barik essentially doesn't need healing. So that's a really good team comp you guys got here in terms of, like, playing with the Genos, like, as best as he can. Genos is quite good right now. I think... I'm not really sure why. I honestly could not answer that. He is good. I don't really get it. I'll be totally frank. Like, there's no good reason for why he's good, because I thought he would have gotten nerfed, but then it turns out he got buffed. And I can't explain it. But, I guess damage amps are just really strong. Still, who would have thought? But yeah, so, like, Barik is really good with that. You're running Architectonics, which is a good talent for sure. Okay. So, yeah, this is a good loadout for the most part. Honestly, I don't know if you need, like, double time 4 and field deploy 5. That's a lot of HP that you got there. Also, One Man's Treasure is a good card. You might want to consider the card as like a filler, the card that when your turret gets destroyed, that reduces the cooldown. Just because your turrets will probably get destroyed more, like, often throughout the game, then like, you'll get elims. Like, you'll probably lose more turrets than you'll have elims. Actually, it's not necessarily true. I don't know. But, like, that one sort of punishes them for killing your turrets, whereas right now you don't really have anything to do that. But it's obviously scaling a bit worse. Not at, like, 10%. I think it's at, like, 8% or 7%. Either way, though, fairly good loadout. The only issue with this loadout is you don't have any duration on dash. I think it's called Fuel something. I can't remember the name of the card, but it's the card that gives you 0.3 seconds scaling duration on your dash. That card can be really helpful to get out rather than just sustain. So, like, right now, if you dash, you don't go very far. And because you're on double time, you don't have, like, the instant burst of HP that Bowling Ball gives you. So you might just get deleted before you get the value off double time. But if you have that, like, extra dash duration, it often lets you, like, escape around corners or do whatever you need to do to get the full value from double time. Or chase people down or whatever. That's definitely a very popular build right now. I don't think it's required. But it's popular. Anyway, you are playing into a couple champions that can screw you, namely Vivian and Andro, and debatably, like, Koa, but you should be pretty good into the Inara. Again, you also could have gone shield build here. That wouldn't have been an awful choice. I don't think there's really a big difference between the two, shield versus not shield. Considering they have Vivian, they can probably melt shields pretty well anyway, so I don't blame you putting Architectonics. Enough talking about loadouts. God Rise is a good first pick. You're probably going to want COP 3 because Furia is nuts. Let's move on.
The battle has begun!
Again, you also, like, you're on a pretty squishy build when it comes to, like, raw HP again. Because, like, old Barik, you would run maybe a couple HP cards and you run Bowling Ball, like, 4 or 5, so you had, like, a lot of instant sustain, just, like, from high HP pool and that shield. Right now, your place to, like, your loadout is very much, like, you need to use your cooldowns to stay alive a lot earlier than you might want to, because otherwise you're not going to stay alive. And that's the thing that I'm personally struggling with, and I want to see if you struggle with that too. Also, Rejuvenate. I would not buy Rejuvenate unless it's, like, later in the game. I know it's not a bad card, like, it's an item, so therefore it is good, but it is really expensive for the value that you get. You're literally going to be healing yourself a lot more than Genos is going to heal you. So Rejuvenate isn't going to help you all that much, because, like, you're going to get, like, literally a single turret is almost as much healing per second as Genos is going to give you if you consider the fact that Genos isn't going to have you marked constantly. And you have 2 turrets, and you have your dash. So, like, Rejuvenate isn't that valuable. It's also just, it's so expensive for what it is, right? It's 5% scaling bonus healing, and, like, you could buy things like Bulldozer, you could buy things like Master Writing, like Morale Boost, like Wrecker, like whatever you might want that are a little bit more expensive, but also incredibly valuable, right? Nimble, I think, is nutty right now. It's super good because it got cut in half in price, but the effect was not cut in half. It was cut in by like 30%. So you can get quite a lot of nice stuff out of Nimble. But yeah, Rejuve, I think, is a very questionable first pickup. I think it's okay. It's not bad. Like, nothing's wrong with it. But I would wait on that. I'd wait to see if you need it. And honestly, I don't think you will. But anyway, let's see. Straight to point, I like it. Putting your turret in the open, I like it. Because you want to get that damage and that healing. Yeah, so the only issue that you had there is that you focused a lot on the Inara, which is not bad, because like your Ram was also there. But you did see the Koa at the start, and you should have noticed that he was just like walking into your backline. You could have tried to shoot him, and because the Inara used her damage reduction, your damage on her was less important and less valuable, because she can just sort of eat it and get Fury healed. Sorry for the like infinite video. Let's try to get away from that. Anyway, so like you could have sort of like avoided shooting the Inara when she was DR'd and whatever, because like it's early game, the caught doesn't really matter, like she can just get healed up, it's whatever. And you could have just been chaining headshots on this Makoa probably, because it's Makoa and his head is his entire hitbox. I don't think that would necessarily save your Genos, but if you like used a shield, let them shield dance, yada yada, you could have gotten some stuff down there. So that's the only mistake I saw there. Just sort of focusing a lot on a champion that you didn't have to focus on. That said, you guys killed her. It's not the worst thing in the world. Where is your number? There you are. Again, there, if you noticed, you used your dash really late and you almost died for it. That's what I mean by like you have to dash a lot earlier than you're going to be used to, just because that's like how it works. Putting a turret there, again, not great because it's sort of hidden. And it's just it's an old habit, healing station, you're used to that. That one's also not great, because again, you want to be able to see things. Unless you're doing it more as an anti-dive thing, but I don't think you are. I think you're trying to heal off of it, out of habit, and that's just not going to work. I'm not entirely sure why you were so committed to touching point there, considering that you guys didn't get overtime or anything like that from it, and you didn't have a lot of your cooldowns, because you had to use your shield and everything. But you know, not like the worst mistake in the world. Nice shots from Evie. That's huge, actually. She can turn this around exponentially now. Yeah, that was massive. That was a lot of damage. Where are you? There you are. So yeah, I didn't like that you went to the point to push when you didn't have to. Like, you could have waited another 3-4 seconds and then gone in, and that would have been a lot more important. I like their positioning here, making sure the left side gets noticed. That shield was a little preemptive. It wasn't bad because the Oblivion was shooting at it, but it wasn't necessarily like the requirement. Again, you're putting your turret to this passively. Like, you might want to try to like. So since their team is low and you guys have the impetus, like I would have liked it if you walked up to this wall, for example, and put a turret down here, so that anyone like the Anar, the Fury, the Makoa, who's trying to contest the card in a bad position just gets farmed by it. And it's out of line of sight of the Vivian, so she's not going to be able to punish you for it. Alternatively, you could have like tried to walk up here, but I think it's a little too far to the side. This is like Rom's job, and put a turret like around here, and like sort of just try to get your turrets in a spot where it's like aggressive but behind cover at the same time. Because you have a lot of cooldowns right now, and you could have literally put this turret, which is gonna maybe hit like 2 shots on the Inara and then never shoot anything again. Could have been over here and just shoot everybody here. And that would have been really nice. Again, this is just like old habits die hard, and I'm gonna harp on it a little bit because that's important to break with the new style of Barik. Yeah, again, focusing on the Koa here is really smart because he had a lot of cooldowns, burns, and everything. I honestly would have considered dashing into that little like hut and chasing him further, because you had your dash heals you, and he was quite low. And again, Koa, you can do a lot of damage too, because you're Barik, you're here. Yeah, focusing on the squishies here is awesome. I'm glad you turned the Andro instead of just focusing on other people. Again, here you can try to like push up further, perfect, turret aggressively. The only issue is you use your turret on a slope. You don't like have a choice really, but like you don't want to turret on slopes too much because they can't see very far. Yeah, Andrew's going behind it. This is excellent peel. Perfect, 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 perfect. Like, you pressured the Andrew out. That's awesome. It hurts me to see Barik's gun at range because it sucks, and I missed Tinker in already. Honestly, with Genesis, I think Tinker is still solid. It's like, it gives you that damage back. This is all fine. The only issue here is that your Rom is just playing really not aggressive, which means that I feel like you sort of have to, but it's not really your job. Like, you're obviously the point tank. So I'm not blaming you for not being aggressive, but like Rom should really step it up. They are, like their team literally should be so bananas destroyed by Rom, it's not even funny. Like, it's so easy for him, but he's not taking any advantage of that at all. Like, only Makoa can stop him, and Rom sort of farms Makoa half the time. So, I don't know. I'm disappointed by the Rom. That shield was completely useless. Like, that shield was so bad, because your shield, see how short it is? And like, Makoa can literally still see you, and you can still see him, and he can just shoot right over your shield. Bathing can shoot over your shield. Everybody can shoot over your shield. I don't know who the hell you were shielding for. Probably a bad habit from like placing your turret down recently. I don't know. But like, you cannot, like, your shield is a really, really good tool right now, because shields are so strong. And I don't think they have any record, do they? No, they don't. So like, shields are nuts right now. They're super, super strong. You could have, like, what you could have done is you could have been like, alright, there's Makoa there, Vivian's behind me, I'm just going to push forward. I'm going to take all of this space, and I'm going to walk up to their squishies, and then I'm going to shield, like, somewhere over here, and shoot people on the staircase and push them into that hole. And then continue walking up forward, and then you, like, corner peek over here, and you just keep taking space. But that shield that you did here essentially makes it so that there's no conceivable way for you to continue pushing safely, because you've used your sustain, but it's not even going to help you sustain. So that was a really bad shield. Honestly, you could have even domed there if you wanted to. That wouldn't have been that bad, considering that your shield was down, and they had this high angle on you. A dome could have really kindled your butt quite a bit, like, and I think turns out you guys are going to kill him anyway. But a dome there would have actually been quite strong, because that has the like, vertical aspect. It's a total dome, right? So they can't damage you through it. And you could have just sort of stayed in this area and pelted their back line or tanks or whatever with your damage. So that would have been really good. This Genos has incredible ults. There you could have domed as well, because you saw the Inara ult, and that means you should dome, because it keeps your team alive. Yeah, that was 2 opportunities to dome that you missed, both of which would have probably won the point. So unfortunate that it happened that way, but it's an understandable mistake. I know that you don't like want to dome when you're pushing, it's not guaranteed, but it's only 1-1. Like, even if it didn't work, it's not like they could win the game off the next push, or like mid-fight, right? So, using your ult proactive like that would have been really, really helpful. Those were, again, 2 really, really good times to dome. Like, I get why you wanted to shield at that area in time, it just like was a really bad shield, because your shield isn't like that. It's not a Koa shield, it's a Barik shield. But a dome there would have been good, a dome to counter the Inara ult would have been good. Barik ult is a phenomenal sustain ult in that sense, right? It keeps your whole team can crowd up in it if they want to. Like, what is Inara going to do into a dome shield? What is Vivian going to do into a dome shield? That Wrecker. Like, them having a Wrecker still, so that would have been really strong. I like that you got Cauterize 2, I like that you didn't buy Rejuve 2, and you're saving for Cauterize 3, that's going to be nice. Honestly, you could have even considered buying, like, a little bit of Master Riding, just because, again, it's so cheap and it's so good for almost every situation. Nice. Okay, I like that you're playing aggressively here, because your ROM isn't. Although now it's going to be weird aggro Barik. I would have really liked... So, I know that you're, like, worried about their team or whatever, but you guys did kill Vivian, so that's a lot of damage off the table. And you saw the Furia here, and you should really just keep walking at her, because your damage... Like, I don't know what you're going to do around here, you wasted a lot of time. But, like, your damage on Furia, even if you're doing 100 damage in shot, eventually she'll die. And it also just, like, makes her want to leave. Makes her stressed, makes her unable to heal as effectively. It takes her, like, attention away from what she wants to be doing, which is shooting your tanks and farming her ultimate and whatnot. So moving this way is sort of, you just wasted a lot of time, and what you're going to gain from it is going to be almost nothing. Considering that you played the off-tank role, you should continue the off-tank role and just be like, hey Furia, you're alone, and your Vivian's dead and she can't save you, and I can essentially, like, you could literally walk up to her and hit Dome Shield and just destroy her. That would be a completely BM but valid way to play this mid. Turning up the Inara, again, doesn't matter as much because if she has her cooldowns, she can just stay alive. Look at that, she DR'd and she stays alive here. And you just wasted your ult trying to kill her like that. Unfortunate. Furia fed. But yeah, like, do you see the difference? Like, had you... Like, everything you did there was sort of wrong. And I hate to say it like that, because again, it's not your job, it's Rom's job. But you should have kept pushing the Furia. You should not have ulted the Inara, because you did not know if her DR was down. If you knew that her DR was down, it wouldn't have been a bad ult for the damage. But also, it's not necessary, because you and Rom together already have enough damage to combo onto her. You could have saved your dome for example, when Furia ults, or when Andro ults, or when Vivian ults, so that you have that sustain. Or use it when you're being really, really aggressive and you don't really have the support of your team, and you're alone in the middle of nowhere. But you sort of used it as like a extra damage on a tank that could still stay alive anyway, and that didn't really help. And that flub from you guys might cost you this mid, actually, because they have a Fury ult, they have a Vivian ult. They already used Koho ult, which is really good for you guys, but it's not looking good, I'll be honest. It's not looking very good. You guys probably lose this. Like, Koa and Andro on your backline, Rom's getting deleted. Yeah. It's bad news bears. Almost killed the Andro Cassie, that was pretty nice. Yeah. So let's see what you do here. You dismounted a little early. Again, you don't need to dismount until you have to. You're going onto point a little bit early. You know that your whole team just died. Or not the whole team just died, but your team got pushed back. I know that your team is all alive, but your Rom is still on a mount. Like, you are walking in essentially without any support. Because, like, yeah, Cassie's playing this, like, passive as fuck angle down mid where she can, like, maybe pepper someone, but, like, it's not gonna matter. You're walking into 5, or I guess 4 players, and that is scary. I would not walk into 4 players until you have to, right? If it was 90% right now and you dash on the point, totally get it. It is 57%. There is no reason at all for you to be here. What you could have done is you could have, like, stayed on your mount here, like, third person peeked on, like, this high ground, maybe walked up to here, maybe noticed this Andro sort of alone dueling your Eevee, helped her out a little bit. Instead of just like, this, you're gonna take a fuck ton of damage, use all your cooldowns in like the next 10 seconds, I guarantee it. Let's watch. 1 cooldown. Okay, Koa went aggressive for no reason. But another cooldown use, and you're gonna shield in like 2 seconds for this Vivian. Yeah, there you go. So like within probably 10 seconds there, or maybe a little bit less, you just used all of your cooldowns, and it's 81%, so once you leave the point, they're gonna start counting up again, and that's when you're going to want to be on the point because of the overtime proc. You're a little too soon. And that was the mistake there. You just went too early. You're probably going to... You can die there. You got punished. Yeah, like Vivian must... Actually, no record, just damage. Your team might clean this up, but that's super lucky. The fact that your team cleaned this up is ridiculous. That makes no sense. There's literally no excuse that their team lost that fight. That's actually silly. I guess Ron was aggressive a little bit, and like, the Cassie ult, I don't know. Again, there you dismounted a little too soon. I would have liked to see you just continue walking up, like, to here? Put a turret down? Here, maybe? Like, chill here, you have this little hut just to keep you safe. You can also back up down the hill if you want to. Putting a turret on point does nothing at all. I get the idea of, like, you put your turret on point, so that if somebody goes to point, then they get shot by the turret, and it's an extra damage. But if they go to point in this kind of situation, your whole team is shooting them anyway, the turret's not going to matter. It's not going to make any, like, meaningful difference.
Enemy killing spree.
So yeah, I don't know how you guys won that mid. You misplayed that. Like, your team just carried that mid for you. In a couple ways, right? So, that was really lucky, and I feel rude saying that, but, like, it's sort of true. Like, you had a lot of questionable decisions, and your effect that mid wasn't awful, like, you did damage, but you didn't, like, you didn't have a huge impact. Again, I like looking at squishies. Looking at squishies is always good. Oh god, Vivian does so much damage, dude. That was not bad or anything like that. The only issue there was maybe, and it's hard to judge, maybe you could have considered backing out because of the Fury ult and knowing that Vivian is Vivian. But that was just like a rip Barik headshot hitbox, I'm pretty sure. Because like, how are you supposed to know they're gonna get deleted in like half a second? That's hard. I understand that mistake, that's fine.
Have you met my friends?
Okay, I really like there that you saw the Makoa and you tried to shoot at him. It didn't work out because the Inara body blocked, but the fact that you saw him and you ignored the Inara in front of you and tried to shoot at him was really, really good. I really like that. Great job. Like, really good presence of mind. A lot of players would like see that and not even care. Oh, this is huge. Nice. Like, that was so good. Even though you didn't hit the shot, like, had you hit the shot, you might have actually killed him, and then you ended up chasing him down anyway because your team took him away. Again, here, you seem indecisive where to go. Your ROM is over there. At this point, since you have a pick on Makoa, you really want to pressure the point, because firstly, you know that they're all in this area, so you can probably just, like, deal damage to them, but even against that, even if you didn't know where they were, you want to play, like, you want to apply pressure, right? Because once you're on the point, they have to think with the point, and that spreads them thinner, because they're already thin, really down a player. Okay, you had to go into the point, good. I like it. You shoot Furia, I love it. You chase Furia, I like that too. Really nice. Again, here, that was really, really optimistic. Androxus deletes Makoa. I think you should know this. You've played a lot of Barik. I know you. You are a headshot hitbox. Androxus does 900 damage a shot. He can kill you in one clip. Even less than one clip. He can kill you in 5 shots. Because that is literally how much damage it takes to kill you. Even 4 shots? Hold on. Yeah, he can kill you in 4 shots. You can kill Barik in 4 shots because you're only a headshot hitbox. When you saw the Androxus, your attention should have immediately turned to him, because the damage he can do to you is 10 times more impactful than the damage Inara can do to you. The Inara probably didn't even see you or care about you, because she was getting attacked by other players right now. So, again, like, you should have really respected the Andro a lot more than you did. Right now in this meta, tanks have to respect DPS like so much more than before. You can't just like look at them and be like, whatever, it's just DPS, I don't care. Like this meta, DPS are super strong. Again, early dismount for almost meaningless damage. You could have mounted a little closer, done more damage. Also, you bought Reju 2. I think it's fine that you bought Reju 2, like considering that you decided to buy Reju. I don't mind buying Reju 2, but I just don't think Reju is very good. Haven could be good. Again, Master Riding, never bad. Master Riding is like an item that helps fix mistakes, right? Because say you fuck up. Okay, you guys got touched. Good. Say you fuck up and you die. Master Riding makes it so you're back in the fight faster, which is really, really nice because it means that your mistake is less impactful. It also just lets you get to positions that you otherwise might have not gotten to, and I think it'd be really nice that way. Yeah. I don't mind waiting behind the wall there. Just like, it's not a huge deal. You guys got a kill, Dinar just back out. Yeah, again, another good place to dome, considering that you guys are up players, and they just used an ult, so it's okay to use an ult. Yeah, see how much more you healed yourself than Genos right there? Like, you had like 160 a tick. Like, what in the world? It's not fair. That was a really good shield, actually, from the Inara, and Sword of the Fury is close to it. Nice dash into the Koa shield. You're playing this pretty well. Unfortunate that you got hit there, but you guys might still have this. Nah, the Fury is getting too much value. That sucks. Almost had it, though. Cassie's, like, surprisingly not dead yet. That's huge. Alright, you guys got Andrew ult out. Apparently you got Koa ult out. I didn't notice that. You only used ROM. Furia has her ult already? Excuse me? What the hell? Well, look at that. Furia is totally fair and balanced. Not a busted champion, no nerfs required. Incredible. Alright. I'm really curious how this mid goes down. I want to see if like ROM is playing more off-tanky now or what. He's on
Capture point
Enforcer.
spawning in 15 seconds.
And like, he has a really weird loadout though. Yeah, he's not that tanky with this loadout. For those that don't know, Rom has so much HP with his soul armor that he scales very well with damage reduction. I would have gotten another item here, because nothing costs 400 anymore, so I don't know what you're waiting for. Haven, Master
Show
item.
them no mercy.
I don't know, anything. But again, Rejuve 3, not bad. Just committed to it. So here you play... That was a good shield. You could have ulted that as well. Okay, that's good too. A little unfortunate. I would have really liked if you ulted just so you could at least stand on the point. It's safer to ult the Inara ult than to shield it, because your shield is not as tanky as your ult, and people don't have trouble walking through it. Unlike a dome shield where walking through it means taking a lot of damage. Also, again, your shield's not that strong, so they could possibly chew through it during the stun. Speaking of which, resilience could be really strong for you. Not a lot of CC on their team, but Inara is ulting you a lot, so that could be good. Not badly played. Again, just a minor like nitpick there. But again, both your tanks are in the same location all the time, and I feel like it's not a great situation because they have a Vivian, and you guys need to be able to push Vivian out somehow. Rom fed, but so did Andrew, so... Alright, there's no ults in this fight. You gotta get touched, you gotta get touched, you gotta get touched. Alright, thank you. Good shield, I like that a lot. A little bit of an early reload there. Well, I like to focus on the Furia while you could. Yeah, so right there, honestly, I guess you didn't know that the EV was gonna die, but you got your touch. You, like, pushed Furia out. It would have been good to have paid a little bit more attention between shots to what's happening up here, because ultimately, you can get off point now. You could leave point, and you're gonna see right now, it's gonna be overtime for like 5 seconds, and you could have come back 5 seconds later and touched again. Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. You guys are gonna lose this mid, because Vivian scales really fucking well, and just deletes anything that she sees. Yeah, I feel like Vivian's pretty good dispatch. A lot of champions are good dispatch. It's not. That shield, I get it. I had to do it all the time. It was useless, but I'm not gonna get upset. That's like... I totally get that. Again, I really like the focus on Furia. Like, all game, that's been a really, really strong point of your play, is that you shoot the squishies when you can. Most of the time. Or like you shoot people that you're down with no matter what, right? You shot that low health Koa that one time. You shoot Furia a lot. That's all good. Yeah, I would like to see you try to get your turrets a little further apart. You often have them really close together, and that means that there's sort of one angle to worry about. But if you have 2 angles for them, it wouldn't be too bad either. So there, I don't know if you saw the kill feed, you could have just died on point. Like, you sort of stagger yourself a little bit, not meaningfully, it's not a huge stagger, it's not that bad. But it would have, at that point, once you like lost 2 or 3 players, you should have just sort of left. Died, you know, dealt with it, then like whatever, we lost. Haven, I love it. Unfortunate beam. If you can build up your ult here and use it to stay alive, that would be really nice. So definitely try to do that. This is perfect. Okay, literally walk into them and ult. And the reason why I say to do that, by the way, maybe you guys don't need your ult here. I don't know. Maybe you'll survive. I can't say. You haven't watched this game yet. But had you walked in here and ulted, dashed in, and you ulted, you would guaranteedly win that point fight. You would split the Inara off from her entire team. You would push all these idiots back. You'd kill the Inara, and you'd still have a minute to build up your ult again. You wouldn't get it all the way. You'd probably get to like 60%. I don't know. But that is better than not using it, not winning that team fight as convincingly, and just sort of being in this limbo where you end up having to use it later, and then it doesn't come back as soon. I just would have liked to see you use it a little more proactively. And then once you guys won that fight very convincingly, you could have sort of pushed up a lot further. You could have posted up like on this line of sight, so that in case you do lose a player, you can still fall back to a safe location. Instead, I think you guys aren't gonna necessarily win this fight too convincingly, and it's gonna be rough. Yeah, you lost Eevee. Here I would definitely ult. You heard the... yeah. Big. Oh, that... wait, that's so weird! Did you just see that? Rom ulted the Vivian, but it didn't kill her thingamajiggies. It must have missed. That's crazy. Is that Andrew inside your ult? Bruh. Unlucky. If he goes back even a little bit. I think either way your turret's gonna kill him. Yeah, get deleted. Alright, that was funny. I feel like you don't know the timing of your ult very well. When your ult's about to end, you sort of want to leave, because, like, Vivian is still shooting you. Oh, huge. Huge kill. Vivian dying there is probably the most important thing that ever happened in this game. If she didn't die, you guys lost. But she died, which means that all their damage is gone, because Vivian is just shit's damage. He is hitting nice shots. All is well. Oh, she didn't chase the Andrew? That sucks.
15 seconds
Master
remaining.
riding, I love it. Again, but you dismount super early all the time, so I don't see the point in doing that, right? Like, use your mount. Your mount is really good. I don't want you to like stay on that all game, obviously, but like, you know, tanks are best when they're close by, not when they're like sniping from a distance. Alright.
Get away from me, creep.
Nothing really to say here, aside from Vivian has record 3, so your shield doesn't matter anymore. I guess it still matters a little bit, because record got changed.
Capture
but,
point
like,
spawning in
it's Vivian.
15
Your
seconds.
shield doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so you have 40% of your ult. Had you ulted earlier, again, I said 60%. It's probably about right.
2, 1.
Show them no mercy.
Okay, again, I think you saw the Vivian top right. Good. Trying to make sure that you don't let her do too much. So walking into that shield, I get the idea, but let's go back to where you were. I don't have the right bind to go upwards properly. Instead of, so like you were around here, and you could have been around here, and you still would have gotten hit. But there's a lot fewer people who can see you from here versus here. And here, your shield's already almost dead in terms of time duration. It had been up for like probably 3-4 seconds. I think it now lasts 6 seconds instead of 5, but still, you don't want to like tempt fate. So it would have been better if you had just sort of chilled over here. You probably would have to use your cooldowns anyway, but conceptually speaking, it would have been safer. Yeah, I really do think that shooting Koa could have been a little more on your radar this game, just because Barik is super good at dealing Koa damage, right? Because like that's what he does. Again, their bad habit, bowling ball does not exist anymore. You're not running it. It exists, that's still good, but like not as good as it used to be. You have to respect Vivian. You have to dash super early if you want your dash to matter.
Have you met my friends?
I think you did a charge zone here. You guys can think about it. I think it's over.
I've lost too many friends in this war.
Yeah, rip. So hopefully that helped. Again, a lot of the complaint was just dismounting too soon, not ulting when you could have, and like, not dashing soon enough. Also, turrets can be a bit more aggressive, but it's not a big deal. The good parts, you like to shoot squishies and not help targets, which is awesome. You seem to know like how to use your shield pretty well most of the time, and like understand the idea of like shielding ults and whatnot, which is really good. You understand that you should be on point, which Rom doesn't even get, because he's on point too. And like there's a lot of good stuff to your play. It's just that like this game, I feel like you got put into a draft where they have a lot of stuff that's good into you. In particular, like Furia, Vivian, Andro can all chain headshot you. They can all deal a lot of damage to you. And I feel like you were uncomfortable playing around that and the new style of Barik. So hopefully this helped. Good luck with your next games.